Hi guys, it's the 14th of July, almost 12:45 here in the UK, and let's do a quick US30 analysis. And if we got some time, we'll do gold. But let's just get onto US30, shall we? So we did have a nice push up for London today. Let's just see. So I'm gonna start with. hmm, Should we start with weekly and see where we go? Okay, so we do see that weekly, obviously, it was. Okay, let me see. So we had a nice downtrend here, if you guys can see this. Let me get the brush. So we had a nice downtrend here, and then we had a push up to the upside. All right, it went down, it broke structure at this level. I know my markings look a bit messy, but I do want you guys to just follow because I'm kind of just mapping out the price action. Okay, so we went up, we came down, we had a break of structure here. Okay, and then we did a push up. However, and then we came down again. There was no break of structure, so it didn't continue to do a further low, if that makes sense. Okay, it went up, and we can see here as we are approaching the highs. What we do want to see is, I'm going to make it just slightly bigger. Okay, what we do want to see is obviously this was the high. Okay, this is the high at the moment on a weekly, this at the end of this week here. Okay, I mean we can consider this a high as well, but I'm gonna take this high here, and we need price action to close above this wick, if that makes sense. Okay, it has to close above this wick for us to know that on a weekly time frame we have basically broken structure to the upside. Having said that, we did have this fake out here where it came down, swept liquidity at this level, and it went right back up. Okay, so I do believe we are bullish, and obviously we are looking at oops. If we are looking at where price could be heading to, it could be taking out this liquidity level, this long wick, so at this zone here, and obviously the next one is right up here, which is 37,000. Okay, taking the top. So really we're going to go progressively today. I'm just going to I don't think I'll be trading today, but at the end of today, for the week, we're gonna see what this candle does on a weekly, so that tomorrow, for next week, we kind of know where we're heading. So price would probably come back down on maybe a 4 hour to do a small retracement, and then we can see price keep flying upwards. So obviously, we don't want to see price going and closing below this again. Then we have a problem because then it's breaking structure to the downside, which I don't think so. So I do believe that we could see a small retracement to the downside, and then we are going to fly. All right. So it all just depends what this candle does at the end of the day, for us to determine what next week is going to look like and what we are looking for. However, on a weekly, we are bullish overall because you guys can see my 200 moving average, which is right at the bottom here. Okay, so I'm going to delete all this crazy line markings right now. Okay, just so that we can move to a lower time frame. Okay, so now we're a clean chart now. Okay, so you guys get the hint, but also before I go, what you guys can see, this is a nice uptrend right here. Okay, so not I should have used the trend line, but anyway, so you guys can see that maybe what I'll do is this. Okay. Okay, so literally we could see a retracement come down here. We got, or it could just be a range. My price is just ranging. However, if it does close above the wick, we know we are bullish, and price could just come down, touch this, reject this, and then fly up. All right, so something to look up for. Now, however, like I always say, trend lines are okay for you to kind of see candlestick patterns a bit more clearly, but then you do need to know zones and fair value gaps and all the good stuff. Breaker structure is a basic in trading, so you need to understand those stuff. Because to me, I do, and obviously trends, you need to follow trends. These are the main things that I look for. Trend line is just like I just draw it there so I can give an idea, possibility, but I'm not taking trades off that. All right. Uh, Okay, so there we go. You can see this on a daily. So we were doing like swings. Obviously, today we had a nice push up here. Like this is from 7, so today, so it is an uptrend here. Obviously, like I said, I do want to see price break above. This is currently the high, so yeah, it's let's see the high of this 599. It looks like E611. So this is obviously the higher one. I mean, visually we can see that already. So I do want to see price close above the wick for us to know that we are bullish. Okay, so that's that on a daily for us. Okay, so let's just drop down to 4 hours and let's just see where we are. I do also want to kind of show you guys something. Let me see if I can find a nice. I think 4 hours should be great. Okay, let me just minimize this. Like, gonna off all of this just so that it's clean. Okay. Can you guys actually see, like, have I minimized this already? Okay, I am going to draw a horizontal line right there just because I do feel like prices is at a very clear level. Oh my God. I'm just trying to get it as precisely as possible. I don't think it's pretty there, to be honest. Somewhere about that. Oops. Okay, so I would draw a support resistance line somewhere around here, and you do see price here. It has come back to this point like many times. Look at where we are now. Look at all this. Look at this. Right, and this is a nice. Is it a rejection? Yeah, there we go. We did a nice fake out here. It came right back down, guys. So it's something to be really careful of. Obviously, we have a nice support resistance line right there. Okay, this is on a 4 hour. I mean, I could draw support resistance lines further up. Okay, it's always nice to it's not nice. I mean, it's good to know how to understand. But you know what it is? I just feel like y'all are going to miss this. Okay, so I'm going to actually delete this. I mean, this is basics. You guys should already know how to draw support resistance lines. I just want to keep to this slide and show you guys how many times I've seen price come back. Look at all of this. This touch points where price is just teetering in that range, right? So look at this. This is almost, but it failed. Look at this. Like, you guys can see this. Look at this here, right here. Like, this is insane. Look at that. So we are at a very, very, very strong area of resistance, okay, and support resistance. So it depends which side. But right now, it's a resistance zone. So I do want to see price do make a bullish and close above the previous high just to give us that momentum. And then we can look into, because we do have fair value gaps. Let's see where we can find it a good solid fair value gap, shall we? Okay, look. So if I'm on an 8 hour, I could find this is a fair value gap right there. I don't think I'm being accurate, right? I'm just going to try it here. Okay, so fair value gaps is really out the candle above the wick, I mean, here. So below this wick and below this wick. Oh god, I'm just trying to get it as accurately as possible, but there we go. So I'm just going to write it so I know what it is. 8 hour Valley Gap. Okay. So this is 8 hours. We can drop down further just to see where we could look for Valley Gaps. You know what makes it even easier is just to turn this on. You can see Valley Gaps. This one for an hour. We are getting Fair Valley Gaps right here. Right, the green color shading is a fair value gap. So obviously we have one right here, which is very much the area that I'm looking to uh get because we have to wait for this candle to close, obviously. And once this candle closes, we are going to get a fair value gap right here, which is where the retracement is going to happen. And possibly we might get a deeper retracement all the way to the top of this. Okay, so clear out these two zones here. We've got two. You know what it is, guys? I'll tell you because I'm gonna move this so it's easier. So if let's just assume this 2 hour candle is closed, so this becomes a fair value gap right here, okay? Right? But then we've had a very bullish momentum here. So I am going to draw a zone right here as well. So this is an area of interest. Having said that, this is a push up here as well. This is an area of interest for me too. So right here. Okay. So I do feel like price might take all this out. And because this, look at this again. This is sideways liquidity. Price always, oh gosh, did I just do something? Okay. Price always likes sideways liquidity. And why is this not coming? uh sideways liquidity, and is this weird? Like, oh, I know what I'm doing now. I'm drawing horizontal. Oh my god, like for real. Oh, okay. I wanted a trend line. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. Okay. So the price really like sideways liquidity, and I do feel that price will come, take all of this out and come right back down, touch this, okay, and then we're flying off. So this will be my point of entry. If it does happen today, great. If it doesn't, then I'm just gonna have to wait for it and see what happens. But immediate reaction is this fair value gap right there. To see what price action does here first. Don't forget, once this candle closes in an hour, which is very much just before New York. We're going to see what happens, right? Respect the family game, or is it going to plunge right down? Because I do believe we had a really good push upwards, and I do want price to actually come down, do a retracement before we see a push to the up. However, to end the week, it would be nice to have a bullish momentum close above that, just because we know it's bullish, and then we can catch the sells to the fair value gap next week, and then obviously the buys for the following week or whatever, however it plays out. But do you guys get me? So right now, I do think that we are bullish, obviously, right? Um, on a 4 hour, clearly, this was the high, right? So this was the high previously here. Price is broken. It hasn't closed, but sure. Okay, so we are kind of bullish, definitely bullish overall trend, right? So here was a high, it broke, it went up. Obviously on a swing high, it hasn't broken the high yet, the high, if that makes sense, right? So I am still bullish. However, we might see small retracements happening for today. So if you are going to catch sells, if you do see a break of structure to the sell side, which we should see on a higher time frame first, guys, do not just enter on a lower time frame, because right now I personally do think we are very bullish. So for me personally, I'm only looking for buys for today unless I see a break of structure to the downside on a 1 hour, 2 hours, and then I know we are really going bullish. The only issue that I have this is how much bullish, because the fair value gap here, and I do think we could be overall bullish. So it could just be a retracement. So it's not like we are looking for a massive sell as well. Or price could be coming right back down to this trend line. So again, it just goes with what price action is showing us. As of today, for me, I'm looking for buys. Personally, not trading, but no, not for any particular reason. Even though there's a red folder, I think at 3 p.m. UK time, but personally, just because I've got a very very hectic day today, so not really going to be looking at charts. We have just done CPI news, and yesterday was PPI, which I did not trade. And it was good because yesterday was really just so like meh kind of a thing. Nothing really happened. The candles, the movements were like, was not really fantastic yesterday. At least that's what I thought. Yeah, I think we just had this, like, if you guys can see this, like, it was just, yeah, not really tradable. So I didn't trade yesterday. Today, maybe not, just because I'm not going to be at the charts. I just thought I'll do an overview video just to get my head around. I don't want to kind of like not know what US30 is doing, but I do feel we've had this nice push up. So we could, you could also just draw your sessions, guys, for today. You guys know how to draw that, isn't it? So you could draw London. Today's 14, isn't it? I am going to just draw London right here. Okay, and then obviously we have got pre-market, so 130, but I'm just going to put it at 230, and I'm going to draw Asian as well. Okay, so I'm just drawing up the sessions. I'm just going to take this out. Right, so you can, and then you just mark out. So this is Asian low was right here, guys. And then obviously, yeah, okay. So price did not really take the low out, to be honest. So this was the low for Asian, okay. And then we have London here right now, which is forming its highs right there. Okay, so London lows would somewhere be very similar. I would consider this London lows as well, and then ish London highs, and then we just gotta see what New York does. It literally could just bump up, take this high out, and drop right back down. Okay, and so if we do see a liquidity sweep right there, possibility is we could look for sales. But like I said, we do need to see a break of structure, bare minimum 50 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, around that range. If you do see a break of structure to the 15 minutes, you can, but just be very careful, understanding that it is an uptrend. However, if for me personally, I do you see my 200 here? I will not take any sales unless price is below my 200 moving average. Like that is a very standard rule for me. I just follow the trend when I trade. So mostly I like to take entries of 5 minutes. So for me, if I'm taking that off 5 minutes and I'm looking for a sell, I need price to be below the 200 moving average, bare minimum for me to enter. And then obviously look for break of structures thereafter and you go for entries. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys got an overview of what I think US30 looks like for today and the coming week, and what I'm looking for on a weekly. For me, that seems to be the candle that I'm looking forward to, the close of the candle for today, so that it gives me a heads up to understand what price really could be looking for to doing. And like I said, we had the resistance line earlier. We know we are at a very crucial spot. So be very, very careful when you're trading around that area because you possibly might get a lot of liquidity sweeps, a lot of fake outs happening. So do wait for break of structures happening on a higher time frame before you decide what you want to do with your entries. All right. So trade safely and see you guys on another video next week.